All right, let's dive straight into this Raw review. Not really a review, for September 23rd, 2024, that took place in Ontario, California. I thought it was Ontario, Canada. So when he was like, I'm happy to do this in front of my hometown, I'm like, what? Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Raw overall was terrible in my opinion, but the highlight came at the end, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. We started off Raw with Women's World Champion Liv Morgan and her poppy Dominic Mysterio. They kicked off the show, did a little victory lap, hunched on each other, did nosy rubs, and just overall were nauseating. They did come into the venue in a lowrider, a la Eddie Guerrero. Real nice lowrider. And then at some point, Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed was still fighting. So they've been fighting since last week. They haven't gone home or nothing. They've been around the arenas around town tearing each other up. So on site is where Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman is on in their relationship. One thing I do want to note, in case I forget, the car that they drove in is also a toy. I thought that was super hilarious because it confused the fuck out of me. I was like, a toy? So you can get the car that they drove into if you like collectibles. Anyway, this Liv Morgan, Dominic, that's all I heard. Then Rhea Ripley came out. She looked extra buff tonight. Shoulders were extremely strong. She was giving you broad. She was giving you dominatrix. And she wasn't selling anything that has happened to her the last 3 weeks. She went on to tell Liv Morgan that I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to annihilate you. You're not going to know what hit you. Whoop de whoop de whoop. She said, but I do got one thing I want to say. When we have our match at Bad Blood, Dominic is going to be hung in a cage above the ring. And Dominic was like, I can't go back to jail. I can't go back to jail. I can't do it. You know, it was funny. Dominic is very funny to me. That actually was given out when they showed the render that shows you the match card or what was happening tonight. I already had saw that it was like Dominic suspended and I'm like, why? It has nothing to do with the overall situation, because they could just tell Dominic, don't you come out. Like, he could just be barred, but they're gonna put him in the ring and suspend him above it because this whole match is not strong at all in my opinion. I do not care what these two women do with this title belt. And if they really want to do something to get my attention, whoever wins the title belt, Dominic should all just spontaneously fall out of the cage and hit the mat. And that's it. And just have some blood, like have him cough up blood. That would, what's going on? Now that's some booking, but that's not what's going to happen. Everybody's expecting him to drop something, and Liv is going to pick it up, and she's going to hit Rhea with it, and Liv is going to retain, and we're going to continue to go through this lackluster, no one wants to wrestle, no one wants the title situation that we're going through now. Let's move right along. It was boring, didn't like it. Moving right along is Sami Zayn and Ludwig Kaiser. I enjoy Ludwig Kaiser. I like how he introduces the Ring Herr Gunther. I think he can be in such a better position if Triple Thumbs knew what the fuck he was doing. But anyway, Sami Zayn continued this whole, I can do it, you gotta let me have it, look at me, I'm tired, and, it's old, it's tired. He did this with the Intercontinental Championship, now he's doing it with Gunther, and we have to suffer because apparently there's no one else for Gunther to fight. So Gunther at some point comes out, and he's dressed to the nines, ready to get in the ring and be that general he is, only for him to tell Sammy, absolutely not, I'm not wrestling your funky ass. And that was really it. Sami Zayn and Kaiser had a fight. It is what it is. Nothing really to write home about. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. I'm very interested in what they got going on. Xavier right now is very upset. He feels like he's not being listened to. feels like things are happening around him and he's standing still. So Kofi Kingston came up to Xavier Woods like, hey man, look what I found in the back. He had like the booty-oles and stuff. And Xavier was like, if we were winning and stuff, we could probably play around and fuck around. But since we're losers right now, it's not a good time to really play around and fuck around. And then American Alpha came and they looked like two American flags fucked each other and gave birth to more American flags. Their outfits was absolutely nauseating. Like, good grief. It's like Ivy now in 3 Kurt Angles. Like, no individuality whatsoever. Chad Gable is just bobbing in the water. Like a what you call them? Like a, I'm talking about, that thing that bob in the water. I can't remember what it's called. That's all he's doing. And then the big dude made some weird quip. And so Kofi Kingston was like, I'll fight you and I'll fight your 2 dudes because y'all not going to talk shit to me. The funny part was where Kofi apparently had somebody bring the pancakes and the unicorn hat. And while Xavier was like talking about how they're going to be serious and they're going to get stuff done. And he shooed the guy off like, That was funny. I did enjoy that. Dragon Lee versus Carlito. What can I say? JD McDonough came out, interrupted. LWO tried to cost the Judgment Day the tag team championships a week ago. Mysterio, Del Cruz, like, I don't know. It's a lot, and I didn't care. Lee Pin Carlito, like, I don't know what they're pushing here. LW is a bunch of losers. I'm not really sure why they're mixing it up with the Judgment Day. No one is coming out looking better for it. It's just I don't care for it. Loser World Order. Then we got the Miz backstage trying to figure out what's going on in his match with Bronson Reed, and unfortunately Karrion Kross came out and continued his attempts to drag the monster out of the Miz, which, you got a loser pumping you up. What can you do? Since it didn't work with Woods, I guess he's gonna work with the Miz, right? Okay, the Miz was like, yeah. Anyway, the Miz versus Bronson Reed did not happen because on site is Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, and they fought and they tore up shit and they was doing a lot of throwing, and it was just a whole big horse fight, and it was fun to watch. And it's just like, okay, I guess the Miz is not gonna wrestle. So, the Miz is nowhere to be found, and Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed are continuing to do what they need to do and found a niche for the big men, which I have no issue with. Then we move on to Drew McIntyre, which was probably one of the worst segments of the night. Drew, I don't know. Drew seems tired of this match. Even though he wants to kill CM Punk, he wants to eat his guts and soul, he seems really tired. And essentially repeated everything that CM Punk said about his wife. He said about his wife, my wife don't want me to wrestle you, but I'm going to wrestle you because I'm going to kill you and I'm going to destroy you from the inside out, eat your guts and put it on a pan and fry it with some lox. Like, okay, I guess. Unnecessary. Walked out the ring, and he's going to break Punk permanently in Atlanta. I don't care about it. I'm going to make you bleed. Bah, 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 bah. Peter Dune is still attacking Sheamus because Sheamus called him Butch. I believe Peter Dune may have either a cognitive delay or some form of dementia, because Sheamus did not call you Butch. It was Vince McMahon. But since Vince is not there, you're going to keep on whooping up on Sheamus. And you're going to use all of the English stuff. So it's not a shillelagh. It's a cricket bat. So Sheamus keeps getting his ass whooped by this tiny motherfucker, and it's annoying. Especially since, didn't Peter Dune just lose on NXT? Whatever. Damage Control versus Holy Union. What can I say? The state of the women's division across the board is very sad because these women are too fucking talented to not find a place on a 3-hour fucking show. I don't understand. But this match is what it is. Io, look, after that clinic she ran with Bianca Belair, Io just reminded me of what a fantastic wrestler she is. She does that head flip thing. If Io is not in the ring with somebody that's going to elevate, or someone she can elevate and move like water with, it's not going to be a good match. Now, her and Bianca, them two are like kindred spirits in the ring. Her and the Holy Union, not so much, because Kairi Sane sucks. So I don't know what y'all see, but since Kairi Sane has been back, she sucks. And she was sucking before she left, but now she really sucks. Then she did an insane elbow, missed the whole fucking thing, hit the floor. And, you know, you got the moonsault, and it is what it is. Damage control to defeat the Holy Union. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill was back there giving you looks, because they don't wrestle. So they're giving you looks. And Bianca just told Kairi, like, if you want to run it back because we was doing so good, let me know, and I'll give you the time of day. But the question is, who's the babyface if them two are going to go back and forth? Honestly, because there is no women's division for the tag team, I would just have Bianca and Jade and Io and Kairi hot potato those belts. I would have them do a best of 7 and hot potato those belts. Some people say that's not a good idea. I think it's fine, because you all aren't interested in the fucking belts anyway, but a small group of people. And if it was me, I would do that. While they're talking shit and running into each other and fighting on site like Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, I would have these bitches do it too. Every time you see Io Sky, you putting your hands on her. Every time Jay see Kairi saying she picking her up and throwing her across something in the garbage. Just out of nowhere. It's like, damn, can they calm down? I can't wait to see this match. That's how you get people into the shit. Fry and Dawn, I don't even know. I don't know what to do with them. The New Day versus American Made, is what it is. Nothing really to write home about. American Made defeated the New Day, unfortunately. I don't know. It's still dissension between Kofi and Xavier. Again, Joe Tesseroy is doing a fantastic job calling out Woods for talking about composure and then going nuts at the end. A lot of frustration because Rey Mysterio came up to Xavier Woods and was trying to calm him down, talking about my bad. He was like, no, why are you talking to me like that? Because I didn't win a championship. I'm the only person that didn't win an individual. And you and Kofi got y'all championships and shit. And so you going to talk to me any kind of way? And Rey Mysterio was like, well, wait a minute. If you feel that kind of way, we get in the ring. He was like, fine, I see your fucking ass next week. So that's going to be a fun little situation. Then we got a very produced video about Finn Balor and Damian Priest, talking about how they were brothers, but they're not brothers no more. Honestly, I do not care about the Finn Balor, Damian Priest situation, and I don't think it needs to be on Bad Blood. Then we go into the Intercontinental Championship, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. I'm not going to lie, I was like, I'm not going to watch this, because if Jey Uso loses, I tell y'all now, I was going to be at a crossroads with WWE. Because this man, let's just separate the tag team shit, since 2020 has given us some of the best character development, some of the best segments, moved that bloodline story like no other for 4 years, okay? Had to endure abuse from Roman, him and his brother fighting, him and his brother going through the motions, then him and Sami going through the motions. Then he said, I'm out, fuck y'all, and he went to Raw and he carved a place out for himself. The man is over with the children. He's over with the children. Let him hold the fucking title. And finally, Jey Uso is the Intercontinental Champion. Main event, Jey Uso now can comfortably call himself main event, because that championship is more important and elevated than the World Championship, than the Women's World Championship, then the World Championship on SmackDown, then the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship is so fucking hot. Now, I could make separate videos on how it should be booked, and I probably do that. But I feel Jey Uso deserves. He deserves. Okay? I don't give a fuck if he hold the belt for 2 weeks. He held it. It is what it is. Y'all can feel how y'all want. And that is what made Raw come to life. A near fall here, near fall there. You could tell he was fighting. Braun Breaker doing his thing. But Braun Breaker showed that young, cocky shit that got him caught up. Kind of like Roman. When Roman had the opportunity to hit Cody Rhodes and chose to hit Seth Rollins, we saw some of that in Braun Breaker. He fucked around and floundered. Showed a lot of that young, needed to be developed still thing. Jay, seasoned, got the better of him. That's it. That's the story. I think this would have been awesome on Bad Blood, but we got it on the Raw, and I love it. I don't see the problem. So that is your Raw review. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'll catch up to you.